What's shaking, everybody? Welcome to another Brand Doctor live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about how to turn low quality leads into higher paying clients. This is probably one of the biggest frustrations that my clients have before we start working together is how am I getting all of these tire kickers? How am I getting all these window shoppers, these nickel and dimers coming through to my business? And it's so draining. Yes or no, always?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've gone through that myself. I'm sure you went through that at the very beginning of your business. And, you know, if we were lucky, we had someone to guide us out of that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of business owners, there's a lot of solopreneurs that continue to struggle with that, and they don't know where to go. They're stuck on this sort of a endless cycle, a hamster wheel, just keeps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, uh, and it just it forces them to continue to slash their prices, and lower their margins, which is the worst. Absolutely, because think about what's going to happen now to that exact same client that's now hired you. If you were forced to slash your prices, that means that you have now diminished the value of the offering that you're actually giving them. You've also put yourself in a position for them to abuse you throughout that engagement if it's the wrong client.
Yeah.
And so we'll discuss in terms of what a right and wrong client. We discuss that over and over again. And hopefully sooner or later it's going to stick in terms of how you should be defining that ideal client.
Yeah. So you want to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Right after this quick little message. If you're a business owner who feels your branding isn't truly representing the value that you deliver, check out this free video training that will help you level up your brand's messaging and online presence so that you can start attracting higher quality clients. Visit www.uniquedesignz with a Z at the end, not an S, .net/level up my branding. All right, so let's dive in. So there may be a few culprits here that are creating this low quality lead flow coming into your business. So always hit them with number one.
Number one, and this is my favorite, is niche down. And this is not going to be something that is a short-term strategy. Continue to specialize, continue to advance your knowledge and your experience, and be very intentional in bringing that. And I was, just right before this, I was sharing my story with Henry. Obviously, he's been a part of that growth. And when I first started, I would say that I was in a increasingly saturated marketplace, primarily because I was a generalist. Just tons of creatives, and that space has grown, and that's great. Again, there's more opportunities for everyone. However, when you are competing against tens and thousands of others for that exact same service, well, there's very little value to that. Very little value to that, and more than likely you'll be competing on price unless you, of course, showcase the value of that to the right client. But all that to say is continue to niche down and become more of a specialized person, or become more of a specialized offering, so that now you're bringing more value to that particular customer.
Yeah,
and now you're able to command. Yeah.
The other part of that is, I noticed the more the bigger deals that I close, and the ones that do not even feel like selling anything, are the ones that came with the prospects that came with an agenda. Like, I am going to find somebody that can help me fix this problem.
That's right.
Right. And I'm looking for that person. They're very specific.
That's right.
If you could become that person, the sky's the limit.
Exactly.
It happened to me years ago when I got into funnel design and architecture and build. People were like, I need a funnel. Well, that was the easiest sale in the world. I could build them. Okay, let's go. Right.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
I started to dilute, that's when people were scratching their heads going, what,
Yeah.
how can you exactly help me? Right. So now it's to the point now where I'm so consistent on social media where people know exactly how I can serve them and how I can't serve them. But not a lot of people are as consistent as me. So
Right.
that's where you guys have to really lean into strategizing how to niche down.
Yeah.
And it's important that you do so before you get out there and start spending money on marketing and branding and so on. So very, very important. Number 2, and we got a couple slides here to show you. The reason why you might be getting low quality leads, I hate to say this, guys, but maybe your branding sucks.
You're gonna hurt some feelings out there, man.
Yeah, well, listen, I'd rather tell it to somebody straight than to sugarcoat it or pussyfoot around the big elephant in the room. And there's websites out there that actually look like this, guys. Like, look how ridiculous this looks. And this is extreme, but look, this is what's out there. You can't really see this that well. Let me see if I can punch this up a little bit. It's going backwards, of course. But like, this is the stuff that's out there. Like, this is so lazy. Somebody took a ClickFunnels template and just used almost used the same text that came in the template. Like, that's awful, guys.
Man.
And that's why funnels get a bad name.
Yeah.
Because there's people out there that are just lazy, trying to make a fast buck with some software, and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
And people are terrible attracts terrible.
Do you want to look like a fly-by-night company?
I don't think so. I truly, in my heart of hearts, I don't think that they do. I think, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, that they don't know what the opportunity is. Like, they don't know what else is out there.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let me, I'm going to reorient that question. What's going to be the impact on your brand reputation if you look like a fly-by-night company?
That's a better one. That's a tailored question.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's a big problem. Yeah, I talk about that client I had in Canada a while back. Her branding online just was awful, which was preventing her from raising her prices because in her mind, she thought nobody was going to pay for it. And it held her back for years. And then she finally invested in a rebrand and jacked up all her prices and didn't realize that actually can happen if your brand identity looks the part. So, your online presence is very, very important. And if you're not packaged well, this is the client that we onboarded on last Friday. They said, Henry, we're coming to you because you could package me in a way that I can't package myself. Okay, that's a serious problem. That's a serious problem. So let's get to work. So maybe your branding sucks and it needs to be revisited, recalibrated, and rebranded. Absolutely. What about the next one, Oways?
Well, maybe you need to revisit your go-to-market strategy. And this is what I alluded to earlier in terms of what is the first thing that we always talk about? Your ideal clients, right?
Right?
Who do you want as a client and who do you not want as a client?
Right, exactly.
And so, as a matter of fact, I was speaking to someone just this morning, and I was like, how well defined do you have that in terms of What is it that you want? What is it that you don't want?
Uh-huh.
And I was watching a sales video last night, and someone, I think it was Tim Ferriss, it may have been someone else in that video, but they said, okay, who would be easier to convert to your services? Someone that believes that there's value there, or someone that's just doesn't believe that there's value there at all,
Mhm.
right? If there's a an offering that's there, who would be easier to convert towards you? It would be the one that actually believes that there's value there. Work on that. Work on the ones that actually believe that they need help. The ones that actually that there's value in seeking someone that helps people that way. Go there.
Yeah,
Not
it's
one
like
that is narcissistic and says, okay, well, you know what, I got it all figured out. Really want someone like that, Henry? Do you want someone like that?
absolutely not.
There you
It's
go.
all about swimming downstream than swimming. It's swimming down current instead of up current, right?
Yeah, yeah,
A funny example is this: is I've been in plenty of markets where people don't buy expensive things, and I'm in there trying to sell a $25,000 program. Not going to happen.
no,
Their values are 180 degrees from mine. They want the cheap, instant result,
yeah,
cookie cutter solution. We are not that,
yeah. And
so yeah.
I would say that that's still one layer. Go deeper in terms of their personality profile. What
Okay.
kind of a personality do you want to work with? What does that personality look like for your ideal client, Henry?
They know what they want, they don't know how to get it. Uh,
But more than that. So when you're undergoing that engagement, do you want someone that goes in, Henry, I already got this figured out?
no.
I think you would disqualify them right away, right? Uh,
No. Then go get it
you
done
posted
yourself,
about
you
it,
don't need me.
right? And then you posted something on Friday that struck a nerve with me as well. Is one that comes, a client that comes in and tries to, uh, that essentially tries to hijack the process
Uh,
or hijack the project.
uh-huh.
Is that the personality profile that you want?
Yeah, you're gonna get when you put that energy out there, you're gonna get more of that back.
Yeah,
I talk about that a lot. If you don't like that frequency of person, then you better check yourself in the mirror
yeah,
and ask yourself, am I putting out those vibes? Because if I
that's true.
am, it makes sense.
That's true.
Uh, all right, so that's that. You might be fishing in the wrong pond. So
Yeah,
make sure that if your go-to market strategy is asking for a higher ticket client, then make sure you go in those places and find them. We'll talk more about that on how to do that on Wednesday, because our Wednesday live stream is more of on the practical, tactical side of
yeah,
things. So we'll talk about that on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is, and I kind of talked about it a little bit before, was maybe your positioning sucks. I got a good story about this. So I was talking to an Instagram follower not too long ago, and I said to her, man, I remember when you reached out a couple years ago. We never worked together, but man, I'm looking at your stuff, and man, I just wish we would have worked together because I could have made you look like $1 million brand. And she goes, I know. She goes, I don't know why I didn't pull a trigger on that. And I was like, it's okay. And she goes, I just spent $120,000 for this coaching program for the year. So I won't be able to talk to you until I you know, get my money back on that. And I was like, that's fine. I didn't reach out to try to drum up business. I literally, that was my knee jerk reaction was, damn, I wish we worked together because we would have been an awesome crew.
yeah,
Right. And so I left that conversation going to myself, well, how can somebody command $120,000 coaching program? Right. And very simply put, they positioned themselves properly
yeah,
because that woman bid it and bought, and I'm sure she wasn't the only one. So, are you positioned to sell a high ticket program? Yes or
yeah,
no? Are you still selling? And I hate to throw salt on the wound here, but you're not going to be able to do that if you're still selling $7 ebooks. It's not going to happen. Subconsciously, people are going to say in their heads, I'm going to pay this person 120,000, but they're selling $7 ebooks.
Right.
It's just not a bad, it's a bad look. It's a bad position.
It just goes back to the whole concept of perceived value of expertise. What is going to be the perception when you're putting $7 ebooks out there? What is going to be the perception of your brand and the value that you're bringing to the marketplace and the value you're bringing to that direct client if your funnel, your page has this sort of an unprofessional fly-by-night look?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was telling my Instagram following this morning, I did a quick little live stream, and I was telling them about these. I got like 6 or 7 trees in the front of the house that got to go because they're just too close to the house. And we've been getting this crazy wind lately. And I don't want to take a chance. And I was over the weekend researching these tree service companies, right, to come and cut the trees down. And I was shocked that some didn't even have websites. I couldn't find them. I couldn't find the website, one. And number two, the ones that did have websites, like I couldn't even look at them on my phone because they weren't mobile optimized. So I'm already like skeptical now because I'm like, I don't want to. I'm not hiring a fly-by-night tree company, especially these monsters that are sitting right outside my window. God forbid they mess up and the tree comes down on my house. Now, if I went to the website and I saw this polished look, and let me show you an example of what I'm talking about when I say polished. There is a client of mine. Now, I will say I did not do this branding, but this guy gets it. Okay, let me show you real quick. Look at his homepage. Relationships matter. That's his headline.
That's his headline, yeah.
Then he's got a video showcasing his work. But look at this website.
Impressive.
Now, this guy, his minimum level of engagement, I think, is like 60 or 80 grand. Okay. When this guy rolls up to your house, he comes in a branded vehicle. He comes with a branded uniform. Now, let's not get crazy here. It's not like, he's not wearing a green slacks. He doesn't look like a park ranger.
Okay.
But he comes well branded. I just saw he got a fleet of new vans all wrapped up. They look amazing. That's coming down your driveway.
Yeah.
Now you're saying to yourself, okay, this guy doesn't look cheap. This guy's probably not cheap, but what does that say about his work? Right?
That's true. Yeah.
So I wanted to give you a visual of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that online presence that says, look at me, I know what I'm doing, and I'm the real deal.
I was at a professional networking event about 2 weeks ago, and I meet this one organizational coach who hands me, and she's telling me, I've worked with this company, like fairly high and top level companies here in Houston, and then hands me her card. And I'm looking at the card and I'm like, I'm scratching my head because I'm thinking, this is what you hand to people, and based off of the companies that you're telling me that you've worked with, how did you get hired? That was the impression that left to me for me, and I was even reluctant to say anything after that. But again, I asked myself, I'm like, if this is the impression that this has left on me, I don't know how you're actually landing these deals.
Right. Right. And that's it could be, now you're skeptical. And
Yeah,
we don't want skeptical we don't want skepticism in our
yeah,
potential clients'
right.
minds, right?
We're strategy partners, right? If
Exactly.
you're wanting to come and become a strategy partner with me and wanting me to refer business to you, your branding had better express that you are the expert in that field.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So these are all reasons why you might be attracting these low quality leads coming in your business. And I hate to may sound like I'm like ranting here, but I'm not ranting. I want to point out because I don't think there's a lot of people out there that are pointing out
Yeah.
the issues, right? It's funny. A lot of the clients that actually enroll into the Brand Accelerator program always they say to me, you said something in one of your videos that hit me. And then they proceed to tell me what that line is. And so that's why I thought it was a good idea to do this video today, because I said there's going to be something that I'm going to say in this video that is going to trigger somebody to consider revamping, rebranding themselves and or their business to bring it to that next level. Because if you want to level up the quality of your clients, then you have to level up the quality of your brand. There's no other way to do it. And I'm
Agreed.
not, and I just don't mean from a visual perspective. Let me just asterisk that. It's not just from a visual perspective, guys. It's from a messaging perspective. It's from a positioning perspective. It's from a vibe. When I start to see clients roll in one after the other in short periods of time, I evaluate my behavior and my frequency, the vibe that I'm putting out into the world. And I noticed it's always calibrating at a high level. Always. When things are quiet, I'm always calibrated low. So go figure. All right. Before we run out of time, what's the last piece that may be the culprit to bringing in low quality clients or low quality leads?
Yeah. How are you nurturing those leads? Right. Maybe it's your sales skills. So let's say you've done everything right up till this point, and now they're showing up and you're actually interacting with them.
Mhm,
Are you still creating that level of trust?
mhm.
That final piece is, now are you staying true to what Henry has done for you up till this point, which is craft that message, help you really define who it is that you want to serve, and then put together this polished visual identity. But now, are you able to express that in a consistent, in a confident, and in a manner which holds, which is expressed with conviction?
So, want to have some fun? Let's play a quick little role play. Always ask me that question. Ask me that question that I have in the notes. Ask me that first question.
Why should I hire you?
I don't know. Why should you hire me? You know how many people get caught with their pants down when they're asked that question?
Yeah.
And they go, well, we've worked with 87 clients in this industry, and we've worked with this and that, and da 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 da.
You know how I would follow up with that after they go through all of that list?
Huh.
So what?
Exactly. So you see the way that I just spun it? I don't know. You
Yeah.
reached out to me. Why should you hire me? Right? Or even if they didn't reach out to you, that should be the question. I need to know how I can best serve you. This is another classic I get on Instagram. How can you help me, Henry? That's their first line to me. I don't know, Sammy.
Yeah.
You haven't told me what you need help with. Okay. What about the next one? Ask me that question.
Have you ever worked with, have you ever worked with a brand coach before?
Yes, I've worked with many, right? Does it mean that you're going to get the same results? The other response that you could get is this. No, I haven't. But if you want to go work with somebody who has, go right ahead. Because
Okay, I understand the context. Okay, so I'm going to rephrase it just so now I understand the concept, context around it. Okay, so I know you've explained this one before. Have you ever worked with a healthcare or a doctor's facility before?
no, I haven't. And here's where that's an advantage to you. If you're looking for somebody that's all they do, that they want to give you the cookie cutter doctor website, and you want to look like everybody else, please go right ahead. The fact that I haven't worked with any doctors before is going to give you an advantage because I have an outside perspective that none of them else, they don't. And I could bring you solutions that they can't. Right? I would probably leave off that last part and just cut it where I said I have an outside perspective that other people don't. Right? That's an advantage. If you want to look like everybody else, then by all means, go find another company that does cookie cutter doctor websites.
Yeah.
All right. And you have to say it with a smile because it's all about your delivery. If you come across snotty, it's going to leave a bad taste. It's not going to land
Absolutely.
right. So
93% of and this is where the sales piece comes in. We can have entirely different. As a matter of fact, let's schedule that in.
uh
We can have an entire 30-minute session around sales. And I love talking about this. 93% of your interpersonal communication is done through your nonverbal cues.
hmm
Only
that's what
7% of what you say is through the actual words.
that's why I don't do phone calls. I don't do phone calls anymore.
Yeah.
Any prospect that I meet is on a Zoom because I want them to see me.
Yeah.
I
That's
really
55%.
That's right.
55% of how you communicate is through the visual cue.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
So
that's important, guys. So those are some reasons why you're probably attracting low quality leads. And then we kind of teased out how to convert those low quality leads into high quality leads or high
yeah.
paying clients. And we're going to dive much deeper into that on Wednesday's live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to give you some very tactical and practical steps on how you could position yourself properly to disqualify those low quality leads and only allow those high quality leads into your sales pipeline. And so we will get into that on Wednesday. So if no matter where you're watching this, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, make sure you tune in every Monday, every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Either subscribe to the YouTube channel or make sure that you are following on those platforms so that you get the notifications of when we go live. So any parting words before we wrap?
Yeah, I want to give one bonus for that last sales skills, upgrading your sales skill. Ask this one important question to open up your conversation.
Mm,
What brings you in today?
there you
What
go.
brings you in today?
There you go. And then last but not least, guys, I'm going to leave you with this. Imagine you closed 80% more of your deals and repelled all the other low quality leads out there. How do you think your business is going to uh, uh, feel? How are you going to feel as a human being? What kind of impact are you going to be making when you draw that line in the sand and people get it? People think, I was telling my client this morning, I said, the reason why we're going through this discovery is because when you get out there to market, they're going to think you're a mind reader because you know more about them than they think you do.
Yeah.
And that's,
Isn't that an amazing feeling, man?
oh, it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's awesome. It makes you feel like you're listening and
Yeah.
it makes them feel like you're listening. And that's powerful. So there you have it, guys. We will catch you on the next live stream Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Let us know in the comments what your favorite takeaway of today's video was. Screenshot it. Make sure you tag me or Awais in wherever you're at, and we'll make sure that we show you some love on the back end of that. So have an amazing day, and we'll catch you on the next one real soon. Take care. That